What up, Laker Nation? It's your boy DTLF, man. And today we got some crazy breaking news. I'm sure you guys already know. Anthony Davis just requested a trade this morning, man. Woke up early in the morning, right before going to work, checked my Twitter timeline. 4 a.m. in the morning. You guys can see the time right there where I posted it. At 4 o'clock in the morning, it said, Wojnarowski is reporting Anthony Davis requests a trade and will no longer sign an extension with the Pelicans, which means he completely moved on. What does this mean for our Lakers? And what does it mean moving forward? What are we going to have to give up? All that good stuff coming up in this video, man. Seriously, guys, I'm nervous, excited, but nervous at the same time because from all the reports I'm hearing, the Pelicans are willing to wait till the summer to make a move for Anthony Davis. So that's the nerve-wracking part. If they wait till the summer, most likely a trade will go down with Boston. But if the Lakers hope to land Anthony Davis, I think they have to try to pry him away from the Pelicans right now. Right now, and I'm talking from here till the trade deadline. Because right now, the Celtics, as you guys know, cannot get involved, right? Now, this sucks. As a Laker fan, I'm super hyped because I want Anthony Davis, and we can have him. We have the pieces to get him. But do you guys know what it's going to take? It's going to take a lot. Here's the dilemma. Anthony Davis is totally worth a lot. Totally. And I wouldn't have a problem with landing him if it costed us most of the young core. But I think it'll be crucial for us to at least keep one of the three pieces, all right? At least one. If we can keep one, we will not only win this trade, but we will whoop this trade. This trade will be ours to have. So one of the three pieces that we have to keep is Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma, or Lonzo. If we can make this trade while keeping one of those three pieces, I don't care. Give up everybody else. And I love our young core, but if you're going to get Anthony Davis, who's only 25 years old, you have to give up a lot. And it's going to cost us either Lonzo Ball, Kuz, Zubats, future first-round picks, or it's going to be Brandon Ingram, Lonzo, Zubats, future first-round picks. It's going to look something like that, guys. So start mentally preparing for this trade. Me, of all people, I've grown so accustomed to the young core that it's going to hurt a lot when we give them up. I'm even going to do a tribute mix for them if we do give them up, if this trade goes through. Also, if it doesn't go through, I'm not going to be mad as long as the Lakers try their hardest, absolutely their hardest to land AD. These type of players only come once in a generation. You guys already know that. But I will say this, guys. It might be something we have to get done. It'll shift the tables around the league. Now, Real GM is reporting that the Pelicans want Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Ivica Zubats, and a first-round pick. That's a fair price to ask for Anthony Davis. I would hate to do this trade because I would either want to keep Lonzo or Kuz. But if we can somehow keep Brandon Ingram, which arguably is the kid with the most potential, and still land Anthony Davis to go with LeBron, it's a wrap for the league. So it doesn't matter, guys. Whatever the pecking order is, doesn't matter. If we can just keep one of those three guys, that would be amazing. Again, like I said, woke up this morning. I couldn't believe it. Look, I talked to you guys throughout the season, and I told you guys I don't think a blockbuster trade is happening. However, that could potentially all change. Hey, what's up, Gritty? What's up, everybody? That could just have changed today because what this tells me is two things. One, Anthony Davis wants to go to the Lakers because the timing for the trade request right before the trade deadline puts all the pressure on the Pelicans because the longer they stay with Anthony Davis, the more trade value he loses. Everybody now knows he wants out, and the longer they have him, the less and less the offers are going to look like, especially as we approach next season, which is his expiring year. So I will say this. If the Lakers can pry him away from the Pelicans, we won. We won already. Book the parade either this year or next year. Anthony Davis and LeBron with fillers is probably going to win you a championship or two. And then if you can add Kyrie Irving in the summer, which is another potential probability, especially if you had to give up Alonzo, Kuz, and all these guys, if you can land Kyrie to go with our big three, oh my goodness. Can you imagine a young Kyrie? What is he, like 27, 28? With a young 25-year-old Anthony Davis, who's now the future franchise building block around our team with LeBron. It's still a little bit out of his prime, but still can ball out. Think about it, guys. That would be insane. So my reaction to all this is if you have to give up a lot to get him, but don't give up everything. Give up a lot, just don't give up everything. That way we can win this trade because they will any team giving up the superstar never hypothetically wins the trade. But if you can somehow, what's up, Danny? How you doing, bro? If you can somehow keep one of the three pieces I mentioned, Lonzo, Ingram, or Kuz, we absolutely won this trade. So if the rumor is true if the rumor is true, as much as I hate to say it, man, if the rumor is true about them wanting, it says the Pelicans want Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, Ivica Zubac, and a first-round pick for Anthony Davis. That's a very, very realistic trade. If as much as I love Kuz, and I might hate to see him develop into a star with the Pelicans, I'm still going to be rooting for him. Much as I love Lonzo, and I think he's going to be a star as well. And Zubac, what he's been showing us lately, Anthony Davis is a once-in-a-generation, lifetime type player. And if you can somehow pull off this trade and still keep Brandon Ingram or still keep Kyle Kuzma or Lonzo or whoever, you have to do it. You have to pull the trigger if you're Magic Johnson, especially if you can beat the Celtics from even having a chance. Remember, they can't even attempt a trade right now because they have Kyrie Irving because of the new collective bargaining agreement. They cannot attempt a trade. So we're basically a one-team race right now. Nobody has the assets other than Boston to offer, and I still feel like Boston's assets are overrated. I feel like we still have the better team. So if Magic and Rob are really, really, really sharks, they're going to prove to us by getting Anthony Davis before the trade deadline. We're really going to find out what they're made of. If they go out and get Anthony Davis, guys, these guys are the real deal. I'm telling you right now. Magic and Rob. So reports are saying that Anthony Davis is willing to play out the season, all this. He's going to say the right stuff because he doesn't want to be villainified, right? He doesn't want to be the villain, which is exactly what shocks me about this trade demand at this time. If he really doesn't want to be the villain, then why would he request the trade now if he was really going to stay for the summer? So this all points in the direction of the Lakers. I have a feeling, and reports from Wojnarowski are coming out that the Lakers have already been working the phones trying to get Anthony Davis for quite some time. So I think this has been in the works for a while, ever since Rich Paul. I felt this coming ever since Rich Paul signed Anthony Davis, since he became his agent. And I think from that point on, LeBron and Anthony Davis probably communicate often. Anthony Davis is tired of losing, and LeBron needs another superstar next to him. So I think this has been something. Remember, LeBron is a master of building super teams. It happened with Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh in Miami. It happened in Cleveland when they traded Wiggins for Kevin Love, and they already had Kyrie there, and they added some more role players. So I feel like it's happening again in LA. LeBron is a master puppet string puller. He's just killing it. So far in this week, we have heard rumors about LeBron's camp not wanting Luke Walton. We have heard rumors about now about Anthony Davis potentially, demanding a trade. So it's not a coincidence, guys. I feel like Rich Paul and LeBron, they're basically like they're like a mini mob of the NBA. They run things behind the scenes, and I wouldn't be surprised if they already have it booked for Anthony Davis and Kyrie all to join forces in LA. So I'll get right to the questions in a bit, but I'm a little shocked, guys. I didn't see this coming. I didn't think Anthony Davis and Rich Paul would request a trade right now. So again, this tells me two things. I already mentioned it. Thing number one, he wants to be a Laker because there's no other reason to request it right now. He could have waited till the summer. And thing number two is that he's probably not that fond of the Celtics. If he was, he wouldn't have requested the trade right now. And the Lakers are the only team that really has the assets to pull off for him. So if you connect all the dots together, the whole pyramid, you can see that it's all connected to the Lakers. So this might happen right now, right here, right now. And this surfaces, this breaking news surfaces one day after Zubac has a beast game, granted versus the Phoenix Suns, but still he dropped 24 16 rebounds, 4 blocks. And all of a sudden we're hearing reports that they want him. So, I mean, something's more likely to happen now than not. I think it's probably a 60% chance that we land Anthony Davis between now and the trade deadline. And now that could decrease depending on how the trade talks go. We'll be hearing rumors from here till the trade deadline, but I think something's going to get done, man. It looks very likely, very probable. Again, I don't report stuff unless Wojnarowski reports it, and I literally just got home from work, so I wish I could have reported it as soon as I read it, but I had to go to work. But something can happen, man. If they come out and they say in the press conference that they're not trading Anthony Davis, that's only to drive up his price. How many times have we not seen players or teams say they're not going to trade certain player, like the Clippers with Blake Griffin, and all of a sudden, boom, a major trade happens. So we'll see what happens. But I'll take questions now. I know you guys are angsty, excited. I know a lot of you guys are working right now, so the chat, you guys are going to all get a chance to get your questions in. We're going to be here for quite a while. Anthony Davis rumors are no joke, man. So go ahead and shoot your shot, guys, right now. He said, yup, 60 to 70% chance. Dan, what is your package deal for AD? My ideal package deal would be Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, KCP, and JaVale McGee, 2 future first-round picks. They're not going to take that. Let's be realistic. They're not going to take that. So the realistic package is going to have to be Ivica Zubac, Brandon Ingram, or Kyle Kuzma, whichever one you want to put in, and Lonzo Ball, unfortunately. And that's going to have to be the package that gets it done with a first-round pick. So Zoo, Kuz, or Ingram, they can't have them both. That'd be way too much. But Kuz or Ingram, Zubac. Maybe even Josh Hart might have to get thrown in there, unfortunately, and a first-round pick. So that is fair, guys, because it's Anthony Davis. I know it sounds unfair. We're giving up all this young talent, but think about it. If you subtract Zubac, who a lot of people wanted him traded or cut from the team a couple of months ago, and you subtract the first-round pick, really what it is Kuz and or Ingram. Kuz or Ingram and Lonzo Ball for Anthony Davis. If you tell me that's not a fair trade, then I'm sorry, we're too biased. But in reality, that's what the core of the trade is either Kuzma or Brandon Ingram and Lonzo for Anthony Davis. And that's a good trade for us, except to make it even more fair, we're throwing in the first-round pick in Zoo, who has shown who has shown a lot of potential lately. So that's the reason that his trade value has increased. He said, Dan, have you ever thought of setting up a phone line for calls? Yes. Somebody gave me that idea, and it's coming real soon, guys. I got you guys. Trust me, I'll be taking calls real soon. So I can't wait for that. But we got to be realistic. Look, we're Laker fans. We're attached to this young core, but I believe in Magic and Rob, and I feel like they're going to make the right call. And if that is at landing Anthony Davis, so be it. If it's keeping the young core because they asked for way too much, I just don't think there's way too much to ask right now for Anthony Davis because he's 25 in his prime, and not only does he guarantee you championships, but he guarantees you a future as well. It's not like we're trying to trade for a 28 to 30-year-old, right? So we'll see what happens. But I'm nervous and excited. Like I said, as long as we keep one of the 3 core pieces, this is a win for us. It could either be Lonzo, it could be Ingram, or Kuz. If we could keep any of those 3, give up everybody else. That's what I say. I love our guys, man. I wish them the best. But if it's Anthony Davis we're talking about here, we're talking dynasty. He said New Orleans, they have no pressure to trade before the deadline. You're right. They have no pressure. However, what would happen if they don't trade Anthony Davis and he gets injured again? Then the trade value goes all the way down when they could have had basically our whole young core right now with draft picks. So once a player indicates to a team that they no longer want to be there, it's way better to trade them rather than hold on to them, because the longer you hold on to them, the lower the trade value goes potentially. And I get it. If he stays healthy and the Celtics offer a beast deal, then they won't lose much trade value. But let's look at the Celtics package versus the Lakers package right now. Let's break it down. What's the best thing that the Celtics could offer? They don't have a top 3 pick. It's not a top 3 pick. It's a lottery pick, but it's not top 3. It's probably going to be anywhere from 10 to 14. So they'll have that pick, right? That's solid, but the money's in 1 through 5, right? That's where you have RJ Barrett, Zion, and all these guys. So 1 through 5 is where they want to be at if you're the Pelicans. So not much value there. Then they have Jason Tatum, really good player, but how much better is he than Kuzma? Not really, right? They pretty much go hand in hand. I'll take Kuzma over him. Then we have Lonzo to offer. They have no guards. Teddy Rozier is not as good as Lonzo potential-wise. He's a solid scorer. He can get hot, whatever, but he's not Lonzo as far as playmaking, rebounding, and defense. They see the potential. And then Zoo. We're throwing in a big man like Zoo. What big man would they offer to replace Anthony Davis? So this is what I'm saying right now. The Lakers have the best overall package. This is the reason the Pelicans are playing hard to get, and they're probably going to come out and say a statement like they're not going to trade Anthony Davis potentially till the summertime. Why? Because they want a little more leverage. They lost some leverage once Anthony Davis came out publicly. They lost a little bit of leverage because now teams aren't going to have to over-offer anymore. They're going to try to get a fair trade, like even trade. And the Pelicans, what they wanted was, well, if they were of the stance that, why should we trade Anthony Davis if he has the potential of re-signing here? You would have to blow us away with an offer type stance. They no longer have that. Now they have to trade Anthony Davis, or they're going to lose him for nothing. And the rest of the league knows that, including the Lakers. That's why it's crucial for me that Magic and Rob become Sharks right now, and they trade away pretty much Pelicans. Y'all can have any combination of young pieces you want, but you got to leave us one of the 3 pieces. You either leave us Kuzma, you leave us Lonzo, or you leave us Brandon Ingram. If that happens, if we can keep one of those guys and still land Anthony Davis to go with LeBron, and we have the cap space to go out and get another max free agent, Kyrie Irving, then we won not just the trade deadline, but we won the future. So I honestly, this is probably the hardest thing for me to say as a Laker fan because I always support team first, right? I love the players, but it's team first for me. If you can somehow improve your team, you have to do it. Even if you're attached to the players, even if I have Lonzo jersey, all that stuff, that's to the side. That's to the side, right? So it's a sad day, but I feel like most of the core is going to get traded. And it's also a bittersweet because it's going to – look, I'm going to cry probably. I'm going to shed a thug tear for the young players. But I'm going to cry tears of joy when I see Anthony Davis and LeBron take the court together. That's going to be insane. So it's a bittersweet time to be a Laker fan, but it's also very exciting for the future and the potential. We're starting to really turn the corner. If we land Anthony Davis, from there on out, it's going to be smooth sailing. No more, fighting uphill type stuff. Anthony Davis is a superstar, and I will throw in the S word, super, right? So that's what I said. I said I wouldn't be willing to trade the young core unless it was for a superstar. And here it is. It's available. So let's see. Who do you guys rather keep, though? I'm very curious. I see a lot of you guys saying we keeping Zoe. That'd be great because we do need a point guard, unless they're going to throw in Drew Holiday, which I doubt. But a lot of you guys are saying we keeping Zoe. Some of you guys say, no, I'm keeping Kuz. I see that the chat is split, It's very split. So how would the bench look like? Well, here's the thing, Joshua. When you trade for a player from the magnitude of Anthony Davis, you can start plugging in players because people are gonna all of a sudden be on the buyout market and they're gonna want to join the Lakers for free. They're gonna want to pay the Lakers to be on the squad with LeBron and Anthony Davis because they know that team is going to go far, and that's the way the league works, man. Once you land the major stars, we already got LeBron, we land Anthony Davis. You can all but guarantee that this summer they're gonna be fighting. They're gonna be taking vouchers to get to the front of the line to join the Lakers. I'm talking from Kevin Durant to Kyrie Irving to Kawhi Leonard, all of them. They'd be fools not to want to join the Lakers as a third star. So this would win us not just, like I said, the rest of the season, but it will win us the offseason as well. He said, I'm going to be sad, but it is what it is. Please don't trade Kuz and Zoe. I feel you, Classy. At this point, though, there's no promises. Anything is off the table. Once Anthony Davis made that trade request, remember, I've been saying it all year. I didn't feel a big trade coming. And it's still, there's potential that the Pelicans play hard head and they play hard ball and they don't really want to trade with us till the summer so that people can fight for, so that Boston and LA will fight for Anthony Davis. If that's the case, then I would just say the Lakers play hard ball as well and say, okay, no, Celtics, go ahead and take them. And then if Anthony Davis truly wants to be a Laker in 2020, then we land him. But that's the same mentality that has gotten us nowhere. We missed out on Paul George. We missed out on Kawhi because we didn't want to make those trades. Sometimes now, the third time is a charm. This could be the third time, man. And this is truly a superstar. So we'll see. He said, damn, AD is great, but I never forget how I watched the draft for 4 hours a night, German time. I watch the summer league games and get hyped about Kuzma. I love the kids, including Ingram. Me too, man. And trust me, I still cheer for D'Angelo Russell. I still cheer for Larry Nance Jr., Julius Randle. I love them all. As long as they don't join the Clippers or the Celtics, I'll still cheer for them. But at the end of the day, it's the name in the front of the jersey that matters. And if the Lakers are able to elevate their status by landing Anthony Davis, if that'll get us also Kyrie Irving, you got to look at this trade like we traded the young core for Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. Would you do that? Or Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant? Would you do that? Because if that is the case, then we'll see. Dan, your thoughts on the Knicks possibly getting Anthony Davis? What do they have to offer besides a good first-round pick? And also, as long as they have that owner, I love the Knicks, but as long as they have that owner, I don't think there's any way in hell they get Anthony Davis. No way. Simply because, think about this. That owner hasn't been able to build a contender for so many years. And Anthony just made it clear that he wants to play for a franchise that can build a contender that can compete, right? So that's why I don't see him going to the Knicks at all. If he does go there, it's going to be a one-year rental, and he's going to bounce right after. Then I dream is to keep Zoe, Kuzma, and Zoo, but I know that won't happen. Nah, man. The Pelicans are smart. Just like you think Laker fans are smart, the Pelicans watch every single Laker game too because they knew this was going to be a possibility. And they want to go for the jugular. They're trying to take all of our exciting young players, from Lonzo to Zubats to Kuz. They might even want Josh Hart. they're going for the jugular, right? Just like we're going for the jugular, they're going for the jugular. So let's see who taps out first, and let's see who ends up, let's see who ends up winning the trade at the end of the day. But you have to understand that anytime you land a superstar in his prime, still 25, with years and years ahead of him, who's most likely going to sign a contract extension, a max 5-year deal, you win the trade. Because what are the odds of Lonzo and Kuzma becoming the next Anthony Davis? They're slim to none, right? But yes, they're going to be very good young players in this league, potential all-stars. Maybe even one becomes a superstar, but are they Anthony Davis? Probably not. So, it's chances like these that don't come around every so often. Magic and Rob are going to try to get this done. I promise you, they're trying to hit the grand slam. They're going to go ahead and try to trade for Anthony Davis and land another superstar in the summer. I promise you that. The plan has been in full motion. People just haven't noticed. And it's always been like that. I was a little shocked this morning when I read that Anthony Davis actually is willing to put himself out as a villain by requesting a trade, right? That only tells me he needs to be a Laker. He wants to be a Laker. Him and LeBron have already spoken about this. That's why LeBron is so calm on the sideline. You guys ever notice how when LeBron was with Cleveland and they were struggling, he'd be so upset and he'd be pushing the front office to make a trade? Well, why do you think he's been really calm? And him and Rob and Magic have been talking and chit-chatting on the side because they're cooking something up, something major. And I think we're starting to get a glimpse of what that is. And if we land Anthony Davis, it's going to be the start of something beautiful and magical to watch for years to come. So the Lakers have to get it done immediately. I agree. I think the Lakers have to do almost anything it takes to land Anthony right now. Right now, because the Boston Celtics are not in the running till summertime. If we can pry Anthony Davis away from their fingertips, we win the century, man. We win the decade. I'm telling you right now. Maybe Magic will say no to Zoe, but take everyone else. I mean, that's ideal for a lot of people because we would have our point guard of the future. We have LeBron and we have Anthony Davis. That's very good mix of youth and prime basketball, ready to compete right now and to actually compete for the title. Because if you look at the matchups, yeah, we still need depth for the playoffs, but I'm sure we can address that this summer. But bottom line is, if you look at our roster, man, who on the Golden State Warriors is going to stop Anthony Davis and LeBron? Nobody, right? And yeah, Curry and Kevin Durant probably can't be stopped either, but they could be contained. I'm not sure you can say the same about LeBron and Anthony Davis. Just saying. He said getting Anthony Davis would be a dream come true. It would be insane. Think about this, guys. History always repeats itself. We always get the dominant big man in the league in their prime. Shaq, Will Chamberlain, Kareem. These are all trades or free agent signings. So this would fall in line with the next great big man in LA, Anthony Davis, who's a prototypical power forward / center who can stretch the floor, rebound, play defense, super athletic, attack the rim. What can he not do? And Gasol as well. Gasol is up there too, but I still wouldn't put him on the same category as Anthony Davis. Gasol was an all-star at best. Anthony Davis is a superstar. He's up there with Shaq. He's up there with Wilt. He's up there with Kareem. I wouldn't put Gasol there. Gasol is all-star, one level below, but I get it. Love what Gasol did. No disrespect to pal. We'll see, guys. Something is cooking right now as we speak. Magic and Rob are probably working the phones right now. We might have to involve a third team. I'm dead serious. We might have to involve a third team. Maybe they want another piece from somewhere else. But I'm sure that we'll find somebody to accommodate the trade if it needs to be done. We have our draft picks this year and I believe next year. We have great core young pieces. We have veterans, expiring contract. We have everything to make a deal done. The only thing that would ever prevent this deal from happening is if the Pelicans get on the same mentality that the Pacers got, which is we don't want to trade with the Lakers. Then, all bets are off. But at least we tried, right? Dan, do you think it happens next few days or last minute? Depends on the willingness from both sides to get it done. If Magic and Rob say, here, take everybody but LeBron, it's going to get done. If Magic and Rob say, take anybody but LeBron and either Kuz, Lonzo, or Ingram, but everybody else, any combination, it will still probably get done, but it'll take a little bit longer. If Magic says, gets really picky and says you can only have Brandon Ingram, Ivica Zubats, 2 first-round picks, and Josh Hart, then it might not get done. But it all depends on the willingness from both sides to cooperate. I think Magic is a shark. I think Rob is a shark. They'll find ways to get stuff done, man. They've shown us thus far. They landed LeBron. We should not doubt them. They're going to give it 110%. And I will not be shocked if Anthony Davis is a Laker come trade deadline. So then I hope we keep and sign an all-star at the end of the season. Yeah, that'd be great. If we keep one young core piece and then add another all-star to that, that would be insane. That would be the dream, right? You're keeping at least one of the core pieces. I'm hoping for either Kuz, Lonzo, or Ingram. But if not, man, we'll see. Dan, what does your gut say, assuming we get AD, who all goes? Well, based on reports, man, I mean, that seems like a fair trade both ways, to be honest with you. It'll hurt. I will hate to give up both Lonzo and Kyle Kuzma, but that seems like a fair trade right there. Looks like they already talked about it. It looks like the Pelicans want Lonzo Ball, Kyle Kuzma, and Zubats, and a first-round pick. And that's to start the conversation. So we might have to throw in KCP just to make contracts match and stuff like that. But that seems like the trade that might go down. And now if that goes down, I will be ecstatic because we're keeping essentially the young player with the most potential on top of adding Anthony Davis and LeBron. So we still have Brandon Ingram, who has shown flashes, but it will hurt because, Kuzma is my favorite of the young core, and then Lonzo's right behind him, right there. I love them both, and I love Ingram as well. So any of those three combination, if we can keep one, we have to be excited because we won the trade big time. If they don't gut your whole young core and you still landed Anthony Davis, you won the trade. Lonzo has the most potential. Yeah, I think they all have a lot of potential, but according to everybody, because of the size, the versatility, and the age, Brandon Ingram, according to everybody, coming into the season has the most potential. That might have shifted during the season because of what Lonzo has done this year. But bottom line is, man, if we keep one, we destroyed the trade. Anyone, give me one. And I'm talking about those three. I'm not talking about Josh Hart because Josh Hart, to me, is going to be a great role player, but I'm not sure if I see him as a starting feature two guard anymore because he's fallen off. Now, he could change my perspective by hooping, right, balling out when LeBron comes or whatever, but let's be real. If we can keep one of the three pieces, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Kuzma, we destroy this trade. We knock it out the park. Magic and Rob show us that they're the greatest probably front office in the history. I'm dead serious, man. Kuzma should be untouchable in my opinion. Well, here's the thing. If you start naming untouchables that are not LeBron, because LeBron's really the one untouchable, then the Pelicans will get they'll feel disrespected and won't even answer the phone. So you got to play your cards right. Maybe somehow you trick them into taking Brandon Ingram over Kuzma, right? Or whatever, but you cannot say this young player is untouchable. Now, what you could potentially say is you could take two out of the three and a package built around them, but you can't take all three. Then that sounds more fair. But I'm not sure if the Lakers say that you can't touch Kuzma, and then the Pelicans won't hang up because maybe that's the main player they want in the piece, right? And they're like, well, we're giving you our best player. You can't even give us your second best player on your team? No, you're not trying to be fair. We're not going to deal with you. And then all of a sudden, we're out of the sweepstakes. It's Boston all the way. So you can't do that, right? You have to be really smart about the way you tread waters, the way you make trades. You have to be very respectful. You have to be able to listen to them. You have to be able to go back and forth. It's almost like a game of chess. Who's going to flinch first? I'm sorry, checkers. Who's going to flinch first, right? A game of poker. Who's going to, show their hand first? We'll see. He said, Dan, we should sign Andre Ingram and trick them into thinking we're giving him Brandon. That's funny, dude. Max, you got jokes, bro. That's hilarious. He said, does this mean Randall is coming back next year? Anything is possible once we land Anthony Davis, if we land him with LeBron. I think everybody's going to be fighting to get here and on a discount prices. They're going to want to win championships. I promise you that. That always happens. It happened in Miami. When Miami built the big three, they were getting all kinds of great role players like Ray Allen at a discount price at the time. Players that could just contribute right away. He said, Rondo, Sue, Kuzma, and a first-round pick. That ain't going to be enough, man. I wish it was. I would love that. If we can keep Lonzo and Ingram, that would be insane. That would be the equivalent of the robbery we committed with Pau Gasol if we pull off something like that. He said, Dan, it looks like we're going to need a third team to take KCP. Yeah, something can happen, though. Something definitely can happen. I expect it to go down now, man. Honestly, I think it's a 60% chance of going down. I think I'm going to be refreshing my phone 24/7. That way I could break the news to you guys as soon as it happens and come here and get your guys' reaction as well as mine. But I'm going to be refreshing it, man. I'm going to be refreshing this time. I'm refreshing it right now as we speak because you just never know, man. My heart's going to drop to my stomach when I hear the words breaking news. Lakers trade for Anthony Davis. Man, if that happens, guys, I promise you this: I'm gonna freaking flip out. I'm gonna go nuts. I'm gonna be jumping around like crazy. But at the same time, I'm gonna go scroll down and see what we got and what we gave up, because that's the scariest part. What you gave up, man. He said, trade everyone, even give the Pelican Staples Center stock. LOL. Everyone is thinking about the young guns. This is for us to lose when no one else has anything to offer, since the Celtics can trade until next year. I agree, man. We have to get something done if we're going to be in this Anthony Davis sweepstakes. Now's our time. And like I said, if the Pelicans wait till the summer, that just means they want to trade him to Boston. But they also risk the fact that maybe Anthony Davis doesn't want to go to Boston. Maybe that's why he declared right now that he wants to be traded, because he's giving us the advantage. Remember, his agent is Rich Paul, who also works for LeBron, and they communicate their best buds. Man, LeBron has all the leverage in this because LeBron is a master. He's basically a background GM / coach / player. So he's always been like that. He said AD just now said he was going to play the season out. And he's got to say the right things. I'm not even worried about that. Honestly, a trade could still go through. How many times does it happen where a front office or a player says something and then the very next day they trade him? It's like, what happened to that? So much for that, right? So that means nothing, man. That means zero. He said Kuzma, Lonzo, and Zubac will be traded for Anthony Davis. Ingram will be traded for a good shooter, and the Lakers will sign Melo. Dan, mark it down. Watch. We'll see. We'll see. That sounds realistic. Doesn't sound like something I would do, though. I wouldn't trade Ingram. If we keep him, we should keep him. We should trade other pieces to get shooters. I wouldn't go just give up a young core piece that we were able to keep in that major blockbuster trade and then turn around and flip him for a role player. That doesn't sound very smart. I wouldn't do it. Dan, if we get AD, Silver will just veto the trade. Man, you're trolling today, Max. Yeah. Hold up. Let me just block this little troll right here real quick. Block. He said, do you see Luke Walton even lasting a year after the trade? If the trade goes down, all bets are off, because all of a sudden we're in win now mode and LeBron's calling the shots. So we'll see. Probably not. He said Pelicans will tear AD to shreds at home. We'll see. He said Boston not in play. That's the best part right now. The best part is that Boston is not in play, so we have the leverage. We could just talk one-on-one. New Orleans, Lakers, straight up. Nobody else has anything to offer compared to what we have. So, Dan, why? So they want Lonzo? Yeah, the package they want includes Lonzo, Zoo, and Kuz. They're smart. They're getting the players that have been playing the hottest this season. So that's what they want right now. Notice how they left out Ingram, because Ingram has been on and off. He hasn't been consistent. He's probably been the most inconsistent from the young core this season. But that could be an illusion. That could just be that. That could be a big illusion, man. Brandon Ingram could end up being the best one. You never know. That's the way the NBA is. You just never know what you're trading away. Or it could be Kuz, or it could be Lonzo. He said, if I'm the Lakers, I am getting Anthony Davis and Etuan Moore, because we need that shooter. Yeah, Etuan Moore is really nice. If he's included in the package, I'll be ecstatic. Ecstatic. He said, there is a poll on Spectrum which young player we should keep. Lonzo has 54%, 37% for Kuz, and 5% for Ingram and Hart. Man, again, if we can keep any of the first three you mentioned, I'd be ecstatic, man. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, man. He said, Lakers are now in talks with the Pelicans now, per Woj. Yeah, I think they've been in talks for several days, man. They're just barely out on the surface, right? It's barely out right now. So it's exciting, guys. It's exciting times to be a Laker fan right now, but also very nerve-wracking times, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to be refreshing my timeline. If something gets done here with the Pelicans, now, mind you, we've already made successful trades with the Pelicans in the past. It's not our fault David Stern vetoed it, but we had already landed a superstar from them. Maybe this is the redo or something, since the league doesn't own him this time, so. You can trade an injured player, Dan? Yeah, you can, because he's due to make a full recovery, and as long as the team is informed of the exact injury and there's no background injuries or no long-term risks, then yes, you can make that trade. But good question, actually. He said it will be sad for Zubac. I liked him. It will be sad to see any young core players go. Honestly, like I said, guys, if we do make this trade, I'm going to drop a tribute video to these young guys, because they were a crucial part of this rebuild, and just thanking them for all the tough but also joyful years that they gave us, and all the hope because they represent the hope, man, and the dreams, right? The young core represents the hope, and so we're trading away our hope for results, for immediate results. So that's, man. He said, once we make the trade, here come all the bandwagoners again. I left the trade midway of the season, but I'll definitely be excited to see our team finally be back after the old days. I second that, brother, 100%. He said, LA will trade Ingram, Kuz, Ball, and Zubac for AD and Meritage. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know what I really don't know what the package is going to be, but it's going to be interesting to find out here over the next couple of days. Man, we got a little more over a week to go, guys, to the February 7th trade deadline. And it's one of those things that it's either going to happen or it's not, right? Next 10 days are going to be stressful, but we're going to be look, guys, it's a win-win. We keep the core, we're happy, we move forward. If we trade the core, we're getting Anthony Davis. So we're in a win-win position right now. If we can keep one of the young core, we'll be lucky, but I'll consider that a win as well. Absolutely, bro. Hopefully, all the fake Lakers stands will become Pels fans. Oh, you mean the ones that only root for players? I'm sure. Just like the D'Angelo Russell fans that went with him and all that. The ones that said they weren't Laker fans anymore. Now, I definitely don't want those fans back on this channel once we win a championship, because I know how they are. They're like leeches, man. Those kind of fans, they're fair weather fans. Something that happens that they don't like, they jump off real quick. Something happens they like, here they come back. Like, those kind of fans don't have a mind of their own, man. They pretty much just follow the narrative. So it's kind of sad to watch. There's beauty in the struggle, and they miss out, right? So it's almost like spoiled children. They're so used to instant results, and they don't ever want to take the punishment and discipline, so they don't really learn how to appreciate life, right? So this young core lost at home to the Knicks and the Cavs. Go grab AD. Wow, man, you can't forsake them for that. You cannot forsake the young core for losing a game or two. If anything, you fire the coach. But in reality, the reality is that they've shown a lot, and that's the only reason we're even in this conversation. So you got to thank the young core. Even if we land Anthony Davis, you got to thank them, because they were good enough to land Anthony Davis. If you don't have a good young core, you're not even in this conversation. Just ask the Timberwolves. How come they're not in the conversation, right? If they had such a great young core. Oh, wait, let me remember. They traded it away, right? Markkanen and Zach LaVine. And Wiggins and Karl Towns. Karl Towns is the only true piece I respect there. So we'll see. Out of all the kids, if Zoe goes, I'll be hurt the most, but we'll have to get over it. Yeah, man, like I said, we're going to shed a thug tear for all the young pieces, but we're also going to be shedding tears of joy once we're raising that trophy with Anthony Davis, LeBron, and whoever the filler is, man. He said AD can't play 500 ball with two other 20-point per game scorers on his team. Well, they're not the right pieces around him, man. But you can't compare them to LeBron. LeBron plays winning ball. Just look at, we were the 4th seed when he was on the team compared to we're not even in the playoffs when he's off the team. So that's a total different. AD has never played with somebody of the caliber of LeBron James. And I feel like they would have to go out and get a coach that's on par with them as well. So he said, you keep – what was that? He said, Lakers for life. I will always respect the young core, even if they're traded. Absolutely, man. We have to have love for what they did. Absolutely. We have to have love. If we don't have love for what they did, then we were never Laker fans, because part of it, again, is cheering them on to do better, man. I expect something to get done. I really do. I think we're at a 60% chance. He said trade talks are heating up between the Pelicans and the Lakers. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. After this report came out, there's only one team that they can trade with right now. So I hope that the Pelicans are open to trading, because we have, honestly, even if the Celtics get involved, I still feel like we have the best package to offer to them. I mean, I still like our young core better than theirs. I hope they feel the same, It said Lakers should be doing everything in their power to exclude Lonzo Ball in a trade package for Anthony Davis. I love the idea of Zoe growing as a player alongside AD and Braun. And that's what Hoop Central is reporting. But I just – it's going to be really hard, guys. It's going to be really hard to keep a designated player, like somebody that we want. It's going to have to be somebody that they want to let us keep, right? That's the only way I see us keeping a young player. But if we get nitpicky and stuff, then it's going to be dang near impossible. So we can't be like that if we want to get this trade done. We can't say, okay, this person is off the – come on, because they're going to be like, we're giving you our best player. You got to give us whatever we want from the young core. But what we can say is, okay, go ahead, take 2 out of the 3, and then add more to that. Add more to that. He said they're trying to get 2 first-round picks, and they only have 1, but we can trade for another one. We have pieces to go out and get another first-round pick. So there's also teams out there that are willing to give their first-round picks for a player that can help them win now, like a KCP. So there's many options, man. That is true. Somebody mentioned it, man, and it's funny. They're basically going to have the young core of the Lakers because they already have Julius Randle over there. If they get Kuzma and Lonzo, or Ingram and Lonzo with Zubats, they're basically the Lakers. He said, if I was LeBron James, I wouldn't play until we get AD to show them he means business and that management is making finally moves. No, he shouldn't do that. He'll lose the city if he does that. If he pouts like a big baby like that, he would lose us immediately. And then the fans will be like, then trade LeBron's bum ass. That's how the fans think here, man. There's no way in heck that, LeBron should do that. That's the worst idea. Hey, what's up, Tony? He said, we ain't trading out our entire team for one player. I hope not. But Anthony Davis could be that one player, man. I'm just telling you. He said, Ingram, Hart, Zubats, and KCP in a first rounder. I wish it was enough, but I just feel like that won't be enough for them. We really have to make them dumb to take that. To leave us with Kuz and with potentially Lonzo Ball, man, that would be robbery. Dan, we went through hell with these youngsters. Keep them. Look, I get it. I want to keep them too. But if it's Anthony Davis, man, you have to be real. You have to be real. Love your channel, but I kind of sense some LeBron hate. No, I don't hate LeBron, but let's be real. If he sits out till Anthony Davis gets traded, he would look like the biggest diva in sports history. You don't want to do that. That's not good for your brand. That's not good for LeBron's brand, and it wouldn't be good for the fans neither. They'd be upset because we've been waiting for him, to come back from injury patiently. We haven't slandered him or nothing. So if he did that, that would really be disappointing. Not just for myself, but for others as well. Man, I don't want to get this video past the hour because I might have to drop another one at any point. You never know if a trade goes down. So I'll take final questions, guys. Any final comments? I'll get to read as many as I can till we hit like the 45-minute mark. Something is going down. Ingram, Kuzma, Hart, Zubats, and a first-round pick and 2 future second-round picks. Now, that sounds realistic. That could happen, but, man, would it hurt to give up Ingram and Kuzma. But we can't have our cake and eat it, too. Like I said, if we are able to keep Lonzo, we win that trade. Or Kuzma or Ingram. Then Anthony Davis is only 25. He's not in his prime. That's his prime. He's entering his prime. He's playing prime basketball. He's not going to exit that till he's like 33, 34, maybe even 35. So, will the Rams win? Absolutely, Israel. Go Rams, baby. Go Rams. 3-team trade. That sounds really realistic. A 3-team trade sounds ideal to land Anthony Davis. Then the Pelicans removed AD from their Twitter profile pic. Ooh. Maybe something's going to go down sooner than we think. So I'll keep my ear low to the ground, guys. Again, if anything breaks, I'll be the first one here to report it. Unless I'm at work, then you'll have to wait till I get back from work. But other than that, we'll see what happens. Tell us, Dan, who would I trade? I would include Luke Walton in the package if they want him. But my package is going to be this, okay? My final deal, and I'm thinking of the future here and how the team is going to be around the Lakers. I would do Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball. As much as I love Lonzo, I feel like, I would rather keep Kuz, because if you can have Kuzma, Anthony Davis playing center, Kuzma power forward, LeBron small forward in his natural position, then you'd have one of the best front lines ever in history. And then guards are the easiest to land in free agency or via trade. So that's what I would do. That's my mentality. My mentality is to build the best front court to destroy the Golden State from within instead of from without. You don't want to play them at their game, perimeter shooting. You want to play them at their weakness. And what's their weakness? The paint. Kuzma, great in the paint. Anthony Davis, the best in the paint. LeBron, the best in the paint. So if you can have all 3 of them on the same team, it's going to be pick your poison for Golden State, and it's only a matter of time before we beat them in a 7-game series. Now, again, if we keep Kuz and then add Anthony Davis with LeBron, now we have the shooting guard and point guard positions to fill. And guess who's a point guard in free agency? That's right, Kyrie Irving. Most likely he'll come if we have Anthony Davis. Now you have Anthony Davis, Kuz, LeBron, and Kyrie. That would be insane. And that's true small ball at his finest because Anthony Davis is not going to get exploited in the paint. No way. Dude, you are spot on. I saw your post at the 0 Dark 30 this morning. Yeah, dude, I was awake as soon as it happened. As soon as it happened. So what about our bench? I'll tell you what. Our bench will have to be played by committee, but right now we have a solid bench as it is. Josh Hart can come off the bench, all that stuff. So, hey, Jonathan, I'll tell you what. You can say Kyrie ain't joining and lay all you want, but if we let Anthony Davis and LeBron recruits him, anything's possible. Kemba also could be an option. There's other options as well, but I'm telling you, it's easier to add guards than forwards and bigs like Kuz, Anthony Davis, and LeBron. Damn, but the Lakers have the cap space to sign Kyrie and AD? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, what up, Lakers girl? Oh, by the way, I got your package. I'll be shipping it out real soon. Probably tomorrow morning. So expect that soon. Thank you for all the donations. I appreciate it. Thank you guys all for donating. He said, finally, I've been noticed. Bro, I read as many comments as I can, man. I got you, bro. He said, if not Kyrie, get Kemba. He's a free agent too. That's what I'm saying. We have options. We have options. So thank you, Lakers girl. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy what I sent. He said, Pelicans said trade conversations start with Lonzo, Kuzma, and Zubac in a first-round pick. Again, that sounds fair. And that would just mean that we get to keep Brandon Ingram. I hate to give up Lonzo and Kuz, though. Honestly, like I said, my ideal trade is different, man. He said, Lakers are willing to give the Pelicans a Godfather package per Shams. Yeah, I feel like something's going to go down for sure. Again, 60% chance it happens. I'm crossing my fingers. But anyways, I didn't want to get this video past the 45-minute mark. I already did. So I thank you guys for showing up again. Very excited, guys. Stay tuned. Any updates? You know, I got you guys here first, man. You heard it here first. So we'll see if we land Anthony Davis. But it's looking like it's a huge possibility right now. Anything can change. You know, trade talks always fall apart and stuff like that. Remember, a couple years back, we were about to land Paul George, and then the Pacers decided last minute they didn't want to trade him to us because they hate the Lakers or whatever. So anything is possible. Either it might happen or it won't. But either way, man, the Lakers, it's a win-win. If it doesn't happen, we still have a young core, still have a lot of cap space, and at least we tried. And if it happens, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, potentially Durant, Leonard, or Kyrie Irving, somebody's coming if we have those two already in place. Plus, we get to keep either Brandon or Kuz or Lonzo. That would be ideal. But let's see what happens, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you already have it, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, man. If you guys didn't get your comment read, leave a comment and I'll get to it as soon as I get a chance. Thank you guys again so much, man. Just getting off of work, so I'm going to go ahead and rest, and I'll catch you guys as soon as I hear anything. Peace out, Laker Nation. Much love.